Now, Emily also mentioned that children returning to school should help improve their mental health if health and safety is prioritized. Today in Peel, both public and Catholic boards are welcoming back some elementary students for orientation. And right now, we travel to Mississauga, where Mississauga's Mayor Bonnie Crombie joins us, who is ready before the bell at Metropolitan Andrei Catholic Elementary. Good morning to you, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me on this drizzly morning.
A little bit misty. You can blame Frankie for that one. But let's talk a little bit about let's talk a bit about back to school here. Yesterday, we talked to Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown, who did express some concern as some students were heading back, specifically when it comes to the higher class sizes and seeing the higher COVID numbers in Peel region. Do you express the same concerns? How are you feeling with back to school?
Certainly so. Let me first say welcome back to everyone. I know the students must be very excited. All the educators are very excited to have their students back, and we thank them for all the practices and protocols that they have put in place to keep our children safe. So of course we knew that after we entered phase 3 that the numbers could start to rise as workplaces reopened and now children are coming back to school. So there was always a risk, but as long as we are practicing the core 4 principles, we wash our hands, we wear our face coverings, we don't touch our face, and we isolate should we be feeling ill, things will go well. I'm very, very hopeful that we can reduce the severity of any potential second wave if we continue to practice the core 4.
Yeah, I love the optimism, and I think we need to go that route. So let's hope that we can continue that. I just want to briefly talk about something that had happened yesterday. Some Mississauga teachers through the Catholic board had walked out briefly talking about some of the masks that they didn't believe were adequate. Can you provide any comments on that and that scenario where that all left off?
Yes, so certainly we knew that some of the teachers, some of the educators felt that the masks, the PPE was not adequate. That has now all been resolved, and we know that there's good quality PPE available for all of our teachers and that all the proper protocols have been put in place.
Okay, so that has been resolved. So hopefully we won't see that again. But let's move forward here, right? So some kids are getting their first days. Maybe for some it's second for orientation or whatnot, depending on where they are, depending on their level. How do you feel overall that the province? Would you give them a grade, let's say, for preparedness?
I am very cautiously optimistic. I think the province has a great plan in place. They've been working very closely with all the experts at Sick Kids, with all the public health units, whether Ontario and Toronto Public Health. Here in Mississauga, Peel Public Health have worked closely with both boards to put the right protocols in place to ensure that our children are safe. So should there be any outbreak, the children will be tested, they will be isolated, and they will be done so by cohort groups. So I know the proper protocols are in place, and I'm very cautiously optimistic that things will go well. We know that there will be an increase in cases. It's only natural as people start to gather. The risk of transmission will be greater, but as long as we are practicing the core 4 and keeping a safe physical distance, wearing a face covering when that's not possible, not touching our face, washing our hands, and staying home if we're not feeling well. And let me also say it's a good time to get the vaccine, the flu vaccine, when they become available, because of course flu symptoms are very close to COVID symptoms. So let's be sure that we're not have the annual flu. So please be sure to go out and get the flu vaccine when it becomes available.
Yeah, some good advice there, Mayor Crombie. Let's keep with the optimism, and let's hope that next time we chat, then we're in the same place, that things are going well.